escalated fast. So I just finished filming the other video with the patina, and I just wasn't filling these wheels and tires. Obviously the tires were the right size for the truck, what it needed to function, but it just wasn't doing it. I needed to weather those wheels. They're multi-piece. You can take that cap out of there, but you can't remove the valve stem. It doesn't look like it's round. There's no little head on it. Trying to paint aluminum. No. So I was sitting here thinking, I need a steel wheel. Obviously, that's the look I like. This truck would have had white steel wheels, and that's why I was thinking about painting those other ones white. And I look over at my 4Runner, and it has these new 155 Yotas RC4 Drive has. These have already came white. They were sprayed with a dull coat. They were weathered a little bit, very lightly. So I took those off and hit them with some rust so they kind of match the truck. Wiped a little too hard on some of it. I didn't do the insides. I was so excited to put them on and look at it. So we'll have to come back and do the insides, obviously. We may hit the outside again just to try to blend it. But I can't do anything else tonight because all of this is wet and it's driving me nuts. But that's the look it needs. This truck looks like now it's a beater. It's got an 8-inch lift and 38s maybe that are way too big. It's going to rub like crazy in the front. But man, it sure does look good. That's the problem with the square bodies. When you try to do the tiny tire and super scale stuff, it's hard to find the balance because in my heart, I guess to say, the square bodies need a minimum of a 6-inch lift or be lowered, but four-wheel drive ones need to be at least a 6-inch lift, 35s, if not 38s. So looks awesome. I used the scale hubs that the truck came with, put them back on. I did have to space these out. These wheels have a pretty good offset, so it doesn't stick out as bad as the other ones did, and not nearly as bad as the ones that came on it did. And just with the ride height change, because that was another issue in a couple videos ago, a couple hours ago, I'd replaced all the shocks and tried to stiffen it up a little bit to hold the weight of the body better. And yeah, it's where it needs to be now. So I'm pretty happy with that. I still have a toolbox coming, 3D printed toolbox. I took all the stuff out of the bed except for the concrete and the shovel. Not sure yet if I'm going to keep running that. It's got a cool bed mat, but we'll see how the toolbox fits and looks and everything. I did make some changes from the last video off camera because I just can't stop working on this thing. Now the hood does open and the battery is inside and it's easy. You don't have to take the body off anymore. So you just slide it forward, flip it up. Now I've put an extension on the battery cable so we can wrap that all in there, put it in from the top and not have to take the body off anymore. If you remember in the last video, I did change the hood hinges broke. I did change the body mount situation. It did have a set screw or grub screw here and a bolt here because the body was flared out. You can still see it as a little bit. So I filed back all of the body mounts level with this under tray. It's part of the SCX10. And I went ahead and put a grub screw in there. And yeah, it's a little bit of a stretch to get the body over it. But it doesn't matter because we don't have to take the body off every time we change a battery now. So I think that's working out great. The only thing left is the interior. And I'm guessing I need to put that in this video since there's not much else going on. But I've got door panels. I've got the bench seat. Again, we may have to hack it. I hope not. Yeah, we got to pull this whole thing apart, get that interior out and take a look because I know the floors have been modified. I'm not going to keep running the drivers. I'm just not a fan of jointed armed people. And we need to put in some vent windows. I need to take out the back glass and paint the inside edge of it so it looks like a weather stripping. And yeah, I still need to re-weather the inside of the bed with the brown rust streaks, not the red rust streaks. Again, I didn't know there was a difference. Just had something that was in a slightly different package. It doesn't specify that it's any different, but it is very different in its shade. So I'm digging this thing. Let's get to work on the interior. Let's fast forward time. So I just can't leave this thing alone. The weathering is still a little wet. We just did that last night. And at the end of that video, we put the tires and wheels on, and I'm loving it. I'm really happy with the direction we're going now. So we got some parts in today. I've got a 3D printed toolbox we're going to paint. It fits very snugly in there. Same one that Jeremy put on his truck. I think we're going to do black because we've got the black tailgate and the black hood. And I think it'll just go together pretty well. This is pretty nice. He uses it for a battery compartment. See, it's got a hole there. It'll work out great for that. This truck already has the opening hood battery compartment, so we're going to rock that for now. Plus that puts weight up over the nose. And if you remember back in the other part, we were having some issues trying to keep this thing level. So I think we've got the weight balanced right now. So we don't want to really do anything with that, just other than have a toolbox. I do need to re-weather the inside of the bed. I talked about that in the last video. There's 2 different shades of the rust streaks. And yeah, did the bed with the wrong one. So that won't be a big task. Yeah, we'll get some paint on this. I also have the Shrink RC door panels. These are a 2-piece design. They fit together very nicely, and they take paint very well. They look like there's a lot of grain in it, but the paint really fills it in. They look pretty spot on. I've used these on 2 or 3 trucks now, and haven't decided yet on what color we're going to do the interior. I've got that bench seat. It's 3D printed. I believe this is from the same person that the toolbox came from. This is the one that's made to go over the existing seats. So we'll see how that works because this interior has been pretty modified to clear this transmission and stuff on this body. So yeah, got to take the body off without screwing up the weathering, and we'll go from there. All right, it came out pretty easy. Start with some eviction papers here. Our footless wonder here with a band-aid on her nose. Homeboy here is glued to the seat pretty good. You can see this has no floor. The stock one has a pretty big floorboard that steps down. This is all styrene. They cut the floorboards out. Got some twin sticks, shifters, more footlessness here. Come on, bro. Hop out. Come on. Glued his shirt. Looks like Weird Al Yankovic. Oh my God. Stab you in the back. Goodness. What kind of glue they use, but it is working. Jeez. There we go. Almost. Nope, now it's butt. Oh my word. You ain't got no legs, Lieutenant Dan. Oh my word. Alright, where's the scissors? I'm tired of playing games. Scissors are so dull. Gosh. Alright. Let's do. Yeah. So, the way this bench seat works, it sets over all of that. So it's set over the console to move our bottle here, and our seat backs have to come out. If they will, they were glued very well, and there's no saving. And boom, bench seat. All right, that works actually fantastically. Yeah, go look for some fabric. So Jeremy on his truck, he actually used leather, and he worked it into all these little grooves, and it looked fantastic. So I was thinking maybe we can accentuate these little grooves a little more, and you know, make it a little more pronounced in the cushions. But I'm not sure what color I want to do. I was thinking blue because this was the original white truck, and it would have like a blue interior. Got manual windows, stuff like that. But repainting the dash is going to be a pain because the stickers are already on it. So we might be able to just mask that off. Need to find a better steering wheel. This steering wheel is terrible, the one that comes with them. And I don't know what the green was on the bottom of it, but okay, that works. So let me do some digging. I gotta get the glue to do the door panels, get those drying so we can start getting some paint on those once we pick it up. Lord. All right, guys. So this has been a very full day of interior work. We got the toolbox on and the bullhorns on. I was second guessing the bullhorns, but it just fits because they're axial. And this is an axial based truck, so we're going to rock it. Yeah, this interior, I am covered in stuff and splattered thumb, the whole 9 yards. So I had to repaint the dash. The dash was tan on top, which I opted to leave because it's close enough to what we have going. But the bottom of the dash was painted this weird metallic green color, and it just wasn't jiving right. This truck was white originally, so it needed to be off-white. So we masked that off, painted it. Came out pretty good. Did over the green where the stainless trim is. And yeah, put some cracks in the dash. Put a lot of cracks in the dash on this one. And glued some cigarettes up there. And yeah, the seat is the biggest thing. So I saw Jeremy did that on his truck, and it came out fantastic. He had red interior. I was just going through my scrap bin of fabric, and I had a like a scrap leather kit from Hobby Lobby. And it had 2 good pieces of brown. It had a lot of texture. I was like, that'll look good. I like earth tones, so you know, if I ever have a square body, it might have a brown seat. So it fits. Got the shrink door panels installed. I went ahead and just kind of painted the inside of the body black, and it did not take well. I used that SEM paint, that trim black. That stuff is awesome, but it did not like whatever was already on there. Worked out though. Just needed to darken the inside of the body so you can't see, you know, can't see the wheel wells as much. Adds a little bit of a depth to it. But yeah, wrap that seat, and I forgot, because this is an axial truck, I was going to have to clearance the seat for the transmission. Luckily, I barely got into the fabric in the middle of the seat, and it worked out well. Got the body on straight. That's what I've been doing the last 30 minutes, is cutting plastic, just dremeling the seat down, trying to shape it to fit around that transmission. And we've done pretty good. Honestly, with proper electronics placement, whoever built this truck before just flattened the floorboards out in the front. We could hide the electronics better. It still has the stock axial receiver box, and we could have moved that back, put the ESC on the other side, and kept the floorboard, but just working with what we already got. And I think this is the ASC or AS3 Bros Productions. The one that makes this toolbox, and they made this seat. And this is the seat that goes over the existing base. So it is a little bit bulky on the bottom. The other one I think is the shrink seat, and you have to cut the bucket seats out, and it glues down over that. I opted for this because I was lazy, and it gets the job done. Lots of little tricks and things I've picked up along the way. So I put carpet in there to cover the hole, because I guess whoever built this truck, the battery mounts from about here to here. They were probably running large square 2 cells. I like my little 3 cells, and I don't need that much space, so I just carpeted over the hole in the floorboard, and it gets the job done. Might stick and hold the battery in, who knows. A few things I still need to do. I need a rearview mirror, and I honestly need a gun rack for the back. This screams that it needs for it. Thought I had some rig. My original Hilux body has a gun rack in it. This one, it just fits. This is total country boy truck. So yeah, what else was it? The interior, I already had those twin sticks, the thing I was talking about. Put the carpet down, and that carpet is super fuzzy, and glue's not going to stick to it. So I burned that spot of the carpet where the shifter went. And yeah, it actually allowed the glue to dry. I don't know how I ever lived life before without these two. These things are fantastic. Having the instant set has changed my life so much. And yeah, that's a super saver. So like that, I put the glue on the carpet after I burned the carpet and hardened it. And then I just sprayed the Instaset on the part on the shifter and stuck it down, and boom. Same thing with the door panels. Every other square body door panel I've done, I've used a 2-part epoxy. It stinks to high heaven. Just, you know, it ruins your night having to deal with that. So being able to use this regular glue, my shop does smell like molten plastic and Instaset. That stuff does have a fruity smell, and it's probably toxic. It smells sweet, but I'm judging by the way I feel right now, it's probably toxic. So keep that in mind. Well ventilated areas and all that. I went ahead and did not do the bed floor. Again, I don't care. I'm having so much fun with this build. This has turned out so great. I was so stressed about trading. I hadn't seen the truck in over a year. Didn't know what kind of condition it was in, how it actually performed. And we've already got the suspension stuff dialed in. We've got the looks dialed in on point. It looks so much better than I dreamed it ever could. I am super ecstatic with this patina. And I mean, I just did my normal thing, but we already had this airbrushing done, and it just goes together so well. And I'm actually excited for Axial Fest. Now I got something to drive, and hopefully we can get some miles on it and get it bulletproof before we get up there. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I am thinking about bringing my Jeep to Axial Fest because it is at the off-road park, and that might be fun. But I got to remember I have to drive it home 1,000 miles or so. No, it's not that much. It's probably like 600 each way, but you get the point. I can't tear it up. I have to drive it home. But anyways, I absolutely love the way this truck is looking out. Bull horns, just, it's a Texas thing. I'm sure everybody's seen TV shows. Everything's got bull horns on it in Texas. That hood latch actually works really well, so I'm not worried about it popping open or anything with the battery. I did go ahead and add vent windows. I just cut up some more of that scrap Lexan I had. That was one thing this was missing. And again, having the two-part sprays worked fantastic. Put glue around the window frame inside the body where I needed it. Sprayed the whole window with Instacure, Instaset, and stuck it in there. And then I just wiped the outside of it. And it did haze it a little bit, but this one actually had a little cut in it already, so it looks like it's cracked. This window's beat up. I did need to change the back window and paint the inside edge of it. It is glued in so well, there's no way. So I'm just going to have to live with that little white edge down inside of here. Ideally, I mean, it's kind of a pocket for back window. This is a really nice back wall that whoever built this body did. Yeah, it has the trim and everything, and it has a recess in there for the Lexan to sit in. But they just glued it on around it, so there's glue all the way around, all the way to the edge. It ain't coming out. I poked at it a little bit. I actually got some black overspray on it when I was painting the body, because I was at that point, it's getting pretty late in the day, but it's fine. I did reuse some of the tools that were in the back of the truck. All these were already glued in. This little box here, the gas can, just something in there. The toolbox is not that heavy, but that seat, that leather, is super heavy. So I think we've balanced out removing the figures, the drivers and the passenger, with having the leather on the seat. This truck should still perform the same weight-wise. But yeah, we still got a lot of tuning to do. But we got time, because Axial Fest isn't till May, I think. So I'm digging it. Stuck a couple stickers on it. Got a Keep On Tiny Truckin' sticker on the back bumper, which is hard to stick over that beautiful weathered bumper, but it needed it. Then I got one up here. It says, "Notice driver only carries $20 worth of ammo." Fits the theme of the truck, So I am digging this thing so much. Not sure if you can see it in there. This truck did have a headliner. It's just some kind of random fabric. Looks good enough. It's something. I don't know what else I would use right now for a headliner. I don't think I've ever done a headliner in an RC. Just looking at them, I don't think I did. So lots of firsts with this one, but I'm digging it. Let me know in the comments what you think we should do with it. Should we do any weathering on the toolbox, trying to dull it up a little bit? That toolbox does just fit in there nice and snug. That didn't really need any glue or screws or anything. We got room to open. I dig it. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you think there's any other little detail stuff, any ideas for the interior. Anybody know where to get a good looking rearview mirror? All the ones I've had were really, really poorly printed, and like my Blazer one broke off before I even finished getting it installed. So we've got fuzzy dice we need to hang up. But other than that, I'm gonna wrap it up. Appreciate you guys watching, and appreciate all the support, keeping the channel afloat. I do have an affiliate link below with AMain, so if you're ordering anything through AMain Hobbies, just go to it through my link. Helps the channel out, and anything you purchase will help the channel. Doesn't have to be anything I've used or anything like that, just stuff you need. So they have just about everything. So until next time, guys, get out there and do something with a hobby. Have some fun, keep it scale, and I'll see y'all in the next video.